Very early, it's about 7:30 in the morning on the streets of Hanoi and the old quarter. Just going to get some money out of an ATM because I rented a motorbike. I'm going to spend a couple of days on a motorbike exploring the city, trying not to get killed. I'm doing it through my hotel, which is almost double the price of doing it through one of the backpacker hostels. And I'm doing that just to save the hassle. You know, I don't have to leave them my passport, which I don't like the idea. And if anything does go wrong, I can just talk to the people at the hotel. It's just easier that way.
I will give them 250,000, and that's the correct price.
You can take it again if you want.
And that's like a lesson that we all need to learn here, I guess. You know, the guy in the lobby just now, he was complaining with the taxi cab driver. When I took a taxi from the airport, on the meter was about 400,000. And that's what the guy wanted to charge him on the meter, 400,000, but he's claiming, it was 250. To make a big fuss about it, it's just, you know, give him the money. Come on. To drive you an hour to the airport. Say one thing, make a deal, that kind of sucks. But he was complaining to the hotel. You know, he's got a problem with the taxi cab. And the cabbies in every country suck. I get it. They have to compete with the likes of Uber and Grab and all these other, you know, DD. And so they have to hustle to make some money. But it's on the meter, it's a fair price. Well, sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. So I got me my bike. It's an automatic transmission Yamaha. It's old, it's beat up. Thing's got 50,000 kilometers on it, barely runs, but whatever. For $9 a day, I can't complain. Now that's probably, you know, just a couple bucks more than that I would pay if I just went to one of these backpacker joints down the street. Now there are some really good motorbike rental agencies here in town, but they're on the other side of the river or down the road, and I just don't want to hassle the time to get down there. It's just easier just to wake up and the bike is there. Plus they have parking, so for 3 days, this is my new trusty steed to get around Hanoi. I guess I was a little spoiled in Da Nang. It's winter time, it's a gloomy day. The sun kind of wants to come out. It came out a little bit yesterday afternoon, which was nice. Hopefully that happens again today. But the bike's not a looker. It's old. It's got 52,000 kilometers on it. But it runs. But every time you go over a bike, it rattles pretty good. It's not a fast bike at all. Here in the city, that's probably a good thing. Helmet's a little bit better than this one. A lot more comfortable, that's for sure. Let's head out and see what kind of trouble I can get into today. I've come to an area known as West Lake, and it's a giant lake in the center of the city. You can see in the clouds some downtown Hanoi over there. If you were to live in Hanoi, you can live in the old quarter, but it's just too noisy and crazy. This is north of that, about 5 kilometers, and this is known as a very big expat community up here. It's a little bit more posh. It's not quite as busy. There's a Starbucks, there's a movie theater. People have told me that this part of town is known as the soft landing for newbies that come to Vietnam. So far, Hanoi's big, it's loud, it smells bad, and definitely a very big difference. It's noticeable as soon as you get off the plane between here and southern Vietnam. In the center of town now. I'm going to start my journey out to Bavi National Park. It's going to take about 2 hours to get out there, and I'm praying that this bike holds up the whole way. Good morning. So this morning I'm going to ride into Bavi National Forest. I tried to get there yesterday morning, but that bike would not make it. I mean, anytime I went over 40 kilometers an hour, it started shaking. It was just dangerous. So they brought me a new bike. So it's bigger, it's more comfortable, it's newer, it's got about half the miles on it. The headlight is pretty weak, so it's not really good for riding at night, and much more comfortable for a long ride. It's going to take almost 2 hours to get up there, and then ride around, maybe do some hiking. It's a much colder morning with a chance of rain in the mountains today. That's fine, I'll just get wet. It's just water, it won't kill me. Just getting out of the old quarter and out of the main city is a pain in the neck. There doesn't seem to be any major highways that cut through the main part of town, so you got to deal with a lot of traffic, and the exhaust fumes from all the bikes. It's rough. I mean, it would be tough to live here on a daily basis, I think. First, you have to exit the old quarter, which is hard enough. Then you get into the regular rush hour traffic of Hanoi. You have to go through the government quarter, and going through the government quarter is really interesting. I can't film it because there are many military guys everywhere, and you're not supposed to film it. But all the walls, all the buildings are all this kind of beige yellow color, and they're everywhere. And there's a military presence everywhere. You see it on the sides of the roads. If you look through the gates, you see that they're having parties and this, that. But in addition, you see them driving around. They're all in these black SUVs. Many of them are like black Land Cruisers, and they got big epaulets on their shoulders. You can tell they're pretty high ranking. It's a complete difference from the old quarter. And when you exit that, you get into this area, which is kind of the central business district area, I guess. A lot of tall buildings. It's not really centralized. It's pretty spread out, but there's a lot of international corporations around here. The fumes from the motorbikes all throughout this, I've been riding for about 20 minutes, and it's overwhelming. It's difficult to breathe. If you were here for a day, it's like smoking a pack of cigarettes. It's pretty nasty. I made it to the village of Ho-Tak, I think that's called. It's just a tiny little village, and I'm about 30 minutes outside of Soite, which is where I'm going to stop for lunch. And from there, it's about another 20-25 minutes into the mountain. And then, man, this is not a fun ride. This is a long slog, bad roads, lots of truck traffic, dirt, dust, noise, featureless. And I'm doing it in the wintertime, so it's freezing cold. So I made it to the turnoff to Bavi. It's the town of Bavi, and then the national park's about a kilometer and a half up here. I need a coffee, man. I've been riding for almost over 2 hours now. Side of the road, this place called Burberry Homestay. It's really interesting. They've got a beautiful garden with coffee and food and like little cabins that you can rent. I didn't see anybody else here. I have to admit, this place is like a little green oasis on this road. It's been a hellish ride. Nothing like a nice hot cup of coffee. That's good. Thank you very much. Cheers. Time to get back on the road. Okay, so here at the entrance, you buy a ticket, costs 66,000 dong, and then the entrance is right there. It's beautiful up here. Just gonna go walk in the woods a little bit. So this mountain, Bavi National Park, has many trails. I mean, there's some old French villages up here, old French ruins, a couple of waterfalls. I don't know where any of them are. I don't have a map. But I'm just here for like an hour. Then I gotta head back into Hanoi. I could stay here. Those lovely folks told me about a homestay that they're staying at, said it was really cool. And it's a possibility if I'm too tired, if it's too cold to ride back. I just don't want to ride back tomorrow because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. told that you can go camping in this mountain. And sure enough, on the way up, I did see a few tents. I'm assuming people are camping. I didn't know that was a thing here. Secluded. It's great to get out of the city and into some nature, even if it is just for a short little walk. Unfortunately, it's just about a complete whiteout up here. I can't see anything. And it's getting late in the afternoon and I gotta start heading back. So I didn't get to explore Bavi as much as I wanted to. Just means one thing. I'll have to come back. It is definitely noticeably colder up on this mountain. I am freezing my butt off right now. Yeah, it's very cold, so I stopped off at this little store and got me a face mask and some gloves. $2 for it. I look goofy, but it keeps the dust out of my lungs. It's in the heart of Old Town, and it's rated as one of the best restaurants in all of Hanoi. The prices reflect it. It's about twice as much as all the other restaurants around here. Fun noodle, a little bit of salad, some soy sauce for dipping, vegetables, and a sauteed chicken. Oh, it's really, really freaking good. And after a long day of riding in the mountains and hiking, and there's nothing better than this. And of course, don't forget the beer. Yeah. We're watching the Asia Cup, which is Japan versus Vietnam, and of course everyone's going crazy for Vietnam. Japan is up 1-0. But the whole city is like watching this game. It's really impressive. They love soccer here.